Thank you, Scorpio Guy, for sending me this story. The link will be in the description. Well, it's safe to say that this woman by the name of Jamie Basinger will not qualify for Mother or Parent of the Year. So this woman decided to let her 3-year-old die by freezing to death outside of her house while she slept off a drug binge. I can almost imagine or pretty much predict what drug she was on. But let's see what the story says. A mother has admitted to letting her 3-year-old son freeze to death outside her house while she slept off a drug binge. Jamie Basinger pled guilty to the involuntary manslaughter of Landon Melton, and the 24-year-old to be expected to serve 36 months of supervised probation and between 19 and 32 months of prison time after cutting a plea deal with prosecutors in her hometown of Morganton, North Carolina. Y'all expect me to believe that this woman is 24 years old. That's a hard knock life of a 24. Basinger's mother, Brenda Basinger, said it was something her daughter was going to have to live with for the rest of her life. She's going to have to battle. We all are, she told the Morganton News Herald, adding that she still had unanswered questions about the 3-year-old's death. Landon was found dead on March 15th after a neighbor called the police when they spotted him laying on the porch. Assistant District Attorney Michelle Lippert said when he arrived at the scene, he knocked so hard that on the door he was surprised he did not break the storm door glass. He said Basinger's boyfriend Joshua Steffi answered the door and went to find Jamie. Both later admitted to smoking meth 2 days before Landon's death and marijuana the night before. Basinger's attorney Frank Webster said she had cooperated with the authorities because she wanted answers herself and was grief-stricken at her son's death. He told the court she didn't understand this, it didn't make sense to her. He added when this happened, when she saw Landon laying on the porch, she broke down in tears, falling on the ground. She never really stopped crying since, Your Honor. But smudged fingerprints on the glass door demonstrated the little boy had tried to get inside before he died, meaning Basinger's negligence led to his death. She said Landon had blood on his face, but there was no signs of trauma on the autopsy report. The boy had gone to live with his mother a few weeks beforehand, shortly after his 3rd birthday. He had previously been living with Miss Brenda Basinger. Mr. Webster claimed initial investigators had asked Basinger leading questions, which meant she admitted her drug use and therefore prejudiced the case against her. He said if drugs had not been involved, Landon's death would likely have been recorded as accidental. He and Basinger had rejected a plea deal in November protesting her innocence, but Mr. Webster said the majority of the community had turned against her. As part of Basinger's probation, she must complete a substance abuse assessment within 30 days and the recommended treatment for the first year. She will also have to complete 72 hours of community service and obey court orders which have been imposed in relation to her child. Well, she's getting off lightly, and I mean extremely lightly. It says she's serving between 19 and 32 months in prison. So that's basically about 2 years. And she's getting 36 months of supervised probation. She's getting more months supervised probation than she's getting time in prison for neglecting her child, thus leading to his death. I mean, when they said she was on a drug binge, I knew it had to be one of them strong white people type drugs, and sure enough, it was meth. Of course, you know marijuana is more universal. Who hasn't smoked weed or knows someone who does? But then again, they could have laced that marijuana with that meth too. So I'm like, don't cry for your kid now because they're gone. They're not coming back. But isn't she such a good mother? Said no one ever.